In this video, I'll be giving you the best guide for reaching round 100 and up on the Call of Duty Black Ops 6 Zombies map, Terminus. If you're in the 91% of people, don't forget to like and subscribe. Before we can actually get into the in-game strategy, we're going to be taking a look at some of the things that you'll need to have equipped in your loadout to not only make the strategy viable, but also give you some additional help along the way. First things first, we'll be going over the weapon that you'll want to bring into the game, that being the GS45 pistol. Up on screen now is my weapon build for the GS45, which includes the akimbo attachment. You can still use the single pistol if you don't have the gun leveled up, however the dual wield gives you just a little bit more ammo to work with. You'll absolutely need to have unlocked the mutant injection before attempting the strategy too. The mutant injection is a score streak that drops from manglers and amalgams in-game, however you can actually craft them at the crafting table for 2500 salvage, but only if you have it unlocked. The mutant injection becomes unlockable at level 39 in each prestige, and every time you prestige, it becomes locked again in the crafting table. I would highly recommend making this your first permanent unlock when entering first prestige, because this high round strategy is also really good for ranking up quickly too. You'll also need the probiotic augment for Juggernog, which allows you to take an extra hit from the zombies before going down. This one isn't technically necessary, but it will give you some breathing room when running this strategy. The only other thing I'd say that you should have unlocked before attempting your high round run is Ether Shroud. Again, it's not really needed because you can survive without it, but it's basically just the best get out of jail free card that isn't a gobblegum. With the pregame setup out of the way, we can now get into the in-game setup. Before we start the strategy, you have to make sure that you do not open the garage door in the maintenance room that leads you to the C tower. You have to leave this door closed in order for the strategy to work, so make your way down to the power and pack a punch by going the other way to the caves past the ether cannon. Next, you're going to need to either craft the beam smasher or get it out of the mystery box and pack a punch it to level 3. If you don't know how to craft it, I'll leave a link to my Terminus guide below, which goes over it short and sweet. You'll also need to get your GS45s fully upgraded in the arsenal station and max pack a punch them. Aside from that, you really only need all of your perks and level 3 armor before you'll be ready to get into the high round strategies. For the first 30 to 40 rounds, you'll be training up the zombies in front of the ether cannon while you rack up your salvage. Ideally, you should have a minimum of about 10,000 salvage before heading into the high round strat. If you're having trouble training in front of the cannons in the 30s, you can head into the high round strategy a little bit early, but you'll be cutting it close in terms of being able to maintain your salvage into the higher rounds. When you're ready to get into the high round strategy, head over to the maintenance room that's next to Juggernog and the tentacle trap. You're going to want to back yourself against the garage door at the start of the round and use the beam smasher to mesmerize the zombies until it runs out of ammo and explodes. Make sure the explosion stuns the horde in front of you and then whip out your pistols. The kickback explosion of the beam smasher will make the zombies weak enough for you to blow them up with less ammo. As more zombies pour in, activate your mutant injection and begin to go to town. The reason you want to use the beam smasher at the start of the round before the mutant injection is because it allows for more zombies to get into the room, as some of the spawns are pretty far away, making the mutant injection less effective than on Liberty Falls where the spawns are much closer. It's harder to end the entire round with one mutant injection, so the extra bit of zombies killed at the start of each round really helps you out so you don't have to constantly burn salvage on 2 streaks. Once you reach the 50s, the drop rate on the mutant injection from the boss enemies picks up and you can find them more often rather than having to basically craft them exclusively every round. As mentioned earlier, the higher the round gets, the harder it is to finish each round with a singular mutant injection, so you have 2 options to combat having to craft a second streak, burning your precious salvage. The first is to either pick up a chopper gunner or hellstorm off the ground if any of the bosses have dropped one. If you aren't as lucky to find some dropped score streaks, run out of the garage and towards the courtyard where you built the beam smasher. As you cross through the living quarters, activate the tentacle trap. Loop around the courtyard and then slide underneath the trap, and repeat this until either the round ends or you have just a few zombies left, making it easier to finish out the wave with just your beam smasher. As long as you play things safely and you rely on the score streaks that are dropped, rather than crafting a second streak every time your mutant injection runs out, you should be able to go for as long as you want without running out of salvage. When the parasite rounds start, run over to the room where you crafted the beam smasher and sit in the corner where the workbench is at. Parasite spawns will speed up and they'll only come from either the doorway or the barricade on the right. The last noteworthy thing in this strategy is to pick up the gold keys the bosses drop and take them to the weapons locker at the end of every round. Every once in a while you'll get lucky and get a free mutant injection, saving you the 2500 salvage. This doesn't matter as much in the super high rounds, but it does help you build up your salvage totals if you're just getting into the strategy. That's pretty much it, guys. Let me know what you thought of the strategy in the comments below, and if you enjoyed, be sure to leave a like and subscribe for more Call of Duty Black Ops 6 Zombies content. Have a good rest of your day and stay safe.